All right, welcome back to episode 17 of To the Crib. As always, it's your boy Delliks with my man Coach Bishop. How we doing?
Doing pretty good, man. You know, today's a rough morning. We're licking my wounds a little bit. We took our first loss of the season with my team yesterday.
Damn.
Yeah, we lost 15-14 by 1 point. It was a touchdown that got scored against us in the closing minutes with about 4 minutes left. We had a chance to go down and do something, but unfortunately, it wasn't our day yesterday. So, it's something that the kids get to learn from. It's always good to take a loss every once in a while so that you can just learn how to lose and be able to move forward from it. So, it's still a good thing.
Yeah, it's kind of like that humble pie. Every now and then used to be served up
Exactly.
to the peoples, just like the Dolphins got that humble pie this past week.
Yep.
So it might do well for your team and for the Dolphins as well.
Yeah, we
But
definitely gonna learn from it.
All right, well, tough loss for you, but we're gonna keep moving on. We got Thursday night football tonight. Chicago Bears at the Washington Commanders. The Bears are 0-4. Washington is 2-2. Right now, the Commanders are favored by 6 points, and the over/under is at 44.5, which brings our implied score to Washington 25, Bears 19. Coach Bishop, how do you see this game playing out?
So with this game, I think Washington should be able to win this game, but I do like the 6 points that I'm getting with the Bears. So I'm going to be taking Bears +6 in this game. However, with that being said, I think this is going to be a game where both offenses are going to be able to move the ball, get up some points. So I'm going to be also taking the over of the 44.5.
Okay, Chicago +6, over 44.5.
Mm-hmm.
So why Chicago +6? Anything that makes you lean that way?
So last week, Joseph Fields kind of started putting it together, had 4 touchdown passes. They were able to move the ball. Washington, their 2 victories this year are 2-point victories, which is a comeback win against the Denver Broncos in week 2. In week 1, they only won by 4 versus the Arizona Cardinals, which was also a comeback win. So there is a world where I can see the Chicago Bears winning this game here outright, just because I feel like they're starting to put things together. Khalil Herbert also had a good game last week. He was kind of the featured back. But I feel like the Bears will do enough to at least keep this game close. I don't think Washington has it in them to be able to go out there and blow them out. So if I'm getting 6 points, I'm definitely going to be taking the 6.
All right, yeah, I can see that happening. As far as some player props go, anything that sticks out to you?
Yeah, so to me, when I'm looking at my player props, Justin Fields, they have his passing total at 193.5. 3 out of the 4 games this season, he's thrown for over 200 yards. He's done it 3 out of 4 times. So I'm definitely going to take over 193.5 versus this Washington defense. Also, we got Johnson, the running back. Last week, he kind of did take a little bit of a lesser role. Versus
Roschon Johnson?
Yeah, Roschon Johnson. He took a little lesser role, backing up Khalil Herbert. But the first 3 weeks of the season, he had over 30 yards in all 3 games rushing. This week, because of the lesser role last week, even though he did still get 5 carries, they have his total listed at 18.5. So even with 5 carries, I feel like 18.5 is something he can get. You give me him getting 4 yards a carry against Washington, I'll take that. I'm going to take his over 18.5. I also like Logan Thomas over 28.5 receiving yards for the Washington. He's hit this 2 out of 3 games that he's played. He's been over 40 both those games. The one game he didn't, he hit 22. But Bates came in and put up 48. The only reason he had 22 is because he went out in that game in week 2. Yeah. So, but in the 2 games that he finished, he had over 40 yards in both games. So I like that.
What's his line at? Over
It is
what?
at 28.5.
Oh, 28.5. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's nice. All right. I do have a couple lines as well. Player props to tackle. My boy Khalil Herbert. Let's go. It's time. We said last week, now or never, against the Broncos, and he performed. They gave him the love. I think they go back to that as well, like you said. I know you leaned into it, but we both love his over attempts. It was at 11.5. Apparently, it moved up to 12.5. I still think he could get it. He got 18 carries last week, so That's something that I'm leaning into. Sam Howell, over 13.5 rushing yards. He's definitely an athletic quarterback, so I think he can hit that. And then going back to the Justin Fields and connection improving a little bit. DJ Moore had over 100 yards last week. They have his line at 50.5 receiving yards. The good thing about DJ Moore is that could be one play. You know what I mean? So, like, I was going back and forth between the catches and the yards and this, that, and I was just like, let me just do the yards, 50.5. We should be able to eclipse that. We are going to go back to our favorite prop of the week, is always the Justin Fields interception prop. Lock it up. We've been 4-0 so far.
Yep.
You know, it's just one of those things he tries to do a lot all the time. So, you know, and he's not the most accurate quarterback. So, it's going to, let's lock that up one more time. And then lastly, I was on Underdog, and I didn't have a touchdown prop for Brian Robinson in there. So I'm sure there's that touchdown props in other spots, like other formats, Prize Picks, or even in your sports book. You could just do it. But with that said, so they didn't have. I think he's going to score a touchdown, Brian Robinson, but they didn't have that prop, so I went over 11.85 fantasy points. My reasoning here is his rushing yards is at 64.5.
64.5 is what it's listed at right now.
So I felt like that might have been a little high. So in my head, I was like, well, he's going to score a touchdown. So 11.85 minus the 6, that's 5.85 points that we need to make up. That's 59 yards. So he could literally get 60 yards, not hit his rushing prop, get a touchdown, 60 yards a touchdown, and hit the over 11.85 fantasy points.
Yeah, no,
So
I love
that's
that play because I feel like he's definitely going to get all the goal line looks. So,
Yeah.
And I already said this is going to be a game that's going to probably be high scoring, and it's going to probably hit the over. So, yeah, definitely see Robinson getting into the end zone at least once. If he gets 2 rushing touchdowns, you don't need anything else. You're already in there.
Correct, yeah. So those are my leans. So that gives us about, 9 leans?
Yeah,
9
about
props?
9, yeah.
All right. And then we both like Washington. You like Washington to win?
I like them to win. I wouldn't be using them probably in a survivor pool now that I'm starting to think about it as this game's getting closer and it's today. So I'm probably not going to put them in a survivor pool. But I think Washington should win this game. This should be a game they win. But I think also my fear is I think the Bears are due after last week. Justin Fields starting to put things together. The short week, I feel like they may be able to come out and actually get a W this week.
Okay. So your official play is the Chicago Bears +6.
Yes.
And the over on the game? Or
Yes,
the
over on the total.
On the total game. All right. Well, that does it then for Thursday Night Football. Hope you guys tail us and make some money. We'll come back at you with the Week 5 games preview coming up either Saturday or Sunday. Till then, my man Coach Bishop. I'm
Thank you.
Delliks.
Yep. Thank y'all for tuning in, man. We appreciate y'all. Hit the like, subscribe, share with all your friends and family, and help get our name out there, man. We appreciate y'all. Take it to the crib.
Take it to the crib.